Okay, I think we're rolling. I have a sheet of clay and a simple bullseye cane that's been wrapped in black. And this is the same rose color that is on the edge of our petals. So I'm just going to simply cut this down the center, and then I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to cut it again, which gives me 4 equal pieces. Now I'm going to kind of push these together, and then I'm going to take this piece that I've already rolled out and conditioned, and I'm going to tuck this down in. Now I've covered one side, but I'm going to leave the other side uncovered. This way we can reduce it and butt it up. And then I'll take my handy dandy little knitting needle, which I absolutely love using knitting needles. You can get them in all different shapes and sizes, and many times they're just the perfect tool for that small project that you're working on. So now let me trim this edge off a bit because I don't want that to show on my final cane. So you can see that I've got my cane, and now I'm just going to reduce this because I want to be able to cut it and put it back together. And you'll see that in just a moment. So I'm using my tile here, the workbench, as my base to kind of help me keep this moving along nicely and to keep it even. One thing when you're doing caning, it's really all about just cutting and putting back together. So I want to keep everything kind of uniform so that I have a nice edge, because I'll be butting these edges together. So now I've got this reduced, and I'm just going to reduce it a little bit more because I want to cut it in half and put it back together. And that should be good enough for you to get an idea. So I'm just eyeballing this. Now I can put it together this way, or I can put it together this way. This is the side that I have the rose on, and so that would make it a double thickness putting these together. And I don't necessarily want that. Even though the slope of the cane, you can see when I reduced it, it kind of slopes a little bit, would probably be more pleasing to have it going this way. I don't want that line. There is a black line here, and I don't want that black line in the middle. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim that away. I probably should have been a little more cautious when I was reducing it, but since this is my first attempt at making a video, I'm a bit nervous, and I just wasn't paying attention. It's really strange, honestly, to be recording yourself. Okay, so I've trimmed that off, and you know what? I'm going to leave that side just because it might add some interest. So I've got my two ends. I'm going to put them together. And again, I'm going to reduce. Now I am reducing in a square. This is going to be a flower petal when I'm done. But for now, it's easier, like I said, to use the tile on my surface and to be able to press against it. I just feel like for me, it helps me with the reduction process because it gives me something to work against, and it kind of saves my hands a little bit. Now, I'm real pleased with this. I want my flower petals, I want the black to be at the bottom. So I'm going to pinch this end And now this is where I'm going to make it round or more petal shaped. So I'm pinching the bottom, and the top I'm going to kind of push because you're really making a teardrop shape. So now that I've got it kind of rounded, I'm just going to go ahead and, again, using my work surface, I'm just going to roll it out. Now I don't want to twist very much. That's the nice thing about having that dark registration line, or any registration line. When you're cutting your flower petals, you're going to want to have all that at the bottom. So you want to make sure your cane isn't too twisted. Now I like to work small, but because this is a video and I want you to be able to see it, I'm going to stop here. This may make a bigger flower than what I'm used to, but you can see you've got a beautiful flower petal. So now all you do is cut your slices, and I am going to wipe off my blade so I've got a nice sharp edge. And this is a flexible blade. I also use razor blades. I tend to use whatever's handy, and sometimes I have used blades that are not real sharp, and it does smear the clay. And I've also been known to use the blade on the wrong side, so always make sure sharp side down, just to be safe. Alright, now I am cutting all of this up just to show you how it looks all the way through. I think that's really pretty, even though I use the same color for the little top layer. It is just enough that I think that came out pretty. Before I started the video, I almost thought, well, maybe I should use a different color or use yellow. And then I didn't have any conditioned, and I wanted to just get this video started, so I thought, nope, this is handy. This is what I'm going to do. So now I'm just hand forming my little petals, and I'm going to do 5. I had an artist friend tell me once that odd is always the best, gives more interest. So I've gone with it. I'm not an artist. I'm a salesman by trade. But I will definitely give a nod to the professionals who say go odd. So here you go. 5 petals. And you can see that you just need to kind of mush them together now at this point to give that petal look, which I like forming my petals forming my flowers one petal at a time. Others may not. You may be so inclined to make one cane with all your petals, but then when you're reducing, you're going to lose all your edges. So that's why I stick to just one cane, and then I hand cut my flowers. It takes a little more time, but I feel like it's worth it. So there you have a beautiful flower, and this can be put on a hairpin, on a barrette, on a picture frame. So there you go. I hope that watching this has inspired you to sign up for my upcoming class at the Fandango. It's called Fearless Flower Caning, and any kind of caning can be as easy or as hard as you want it to be. I tend to make a lot of flowers, and I think they're beautiful and they're easy and they're just a whole lot of fun. So I hope to see you on April 30th.